Gather around the fire, my friends. Welcome to the Drunken Cryptids. I'm your guide, Matthew. Here, you'll hear encounters of the spooky, paranormal, the strange, and the unknown. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. It's showtime.
Was these two globes. I don't know how to describe them. And I stood up there and looked at them, and it's like...
That how she turned and looked at me, she backed straight up to my closet door.
I just couldn't hold it anymore, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was a chupacabra. I was so excited.
I'm drinking something I affectionately refer to as a Matty Rita.
And welcome back to another episode of The Drunken Cryptids. I'm your host, Matthew Wharton, and of course, sitting across from me in the tavern this evening is Jacob. Everybody say hi to Jacob.
What's up, everybody?
Hi, Jacob. So, yes, the long-lost prodigal son has finally returned from his whatever adventures he has been on the past week or so. But I do want to give a quick shout-out real quick, though, to Gunner and Tommy. Appreciate it. BladeMedia.com. Dylan, I appreciate the hard work on the graphic. Cannot wait to see the new website when you get done building it for us. It's going to be great. Just everything you do, Dylan is amazing, so I appreciate it. And, of course, a quick shout-out to the rest of the team. You know, Vince, Tony, Chris, Talina, all you guys. I appreciate all the hard work and everything you guys do supporting the show. And it's been crazy. We do have some events coming up. We have a town hall sometime in February that we're working on right now. And another special announcement should be dropping this week. Actually, the Patreon members will get the announcement for it first. And then, of course, we'll bring it in later on. Patreon members do get a first shot at the special announcement, which is going to be awesome. The little collaboration between us and Cryptids of the Corn. On that note, too, though, make sure you do check out the Patreon page, you guys. It does help support the show. It does help, support some of the expeditions that we do go on. So, and any tier that works for you is greatly appreciated. That's all we ask for. If it works for you, great. If not, we completely understand. We're still going to be here putting out great content as best as we possibly can do it. However, we did have a good time at the expo, though. We actually really did. You get to shake your head, yes, because you weren't there.
I know. I wish I was.
Man, we met some really awesome people. We actually had some fans come up to actually listen to the show. It was a lot of fun. It was kind of surreal meeting some fans. It really was. I'm not going to lie. Still kind of getting used to the idea that, I have fans. I can't get over that part, but... And speaking of meeting great people, we did get a chance. I had a chance to meet with this nice young lady. Her name is Geneva. Geneva, how are you this evening?
I am doing great.
I'm so glad you came on. And me and Geneva were trying to have a conversation, and it happened to be like right at the busiest time. So like right where we were set up at, we were set right in this corner, and we had us set up, and we had Unexplained Arkansas.
Okay.
The girls from them set up right next to us, and they were a hoot.
Oh, they were?
They were great. I'm not going to lie. They were awesome. We had so much fun goofing off back and forth. So they had people going to them. We had people coming to us, and it was kind of a back and forth. And, I was kind of put in the corner. Nobody puts Matthew in the corner. And so I kind of weirded me out a few times. I had to try to
get up and leave.
Had to get up and leave, yeah. So I appreciate, obviously Tony and Karen holding the fort down, Talina holding the fort down for me. I had to get up and go. But Geneva, you and me had a chance just to visit for probably maybe 5-7 minutes, if I recall.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And you had some great, crazy, really good paranormal encounters that you were kind of briefing me on a little bit.
So I've been able to, I've been having encounters with entities or spirits or whatever since I was like really little, like before pre-K. And so when that, when I discovered that, I didn't really think anything of it, honestly. I mean, who wouldn't want to like have some other little kid play with them in their bedroom? And then only to find out later that they're ghosts. Like, I played with a little girl. She was pink. And a little boy who was blue. And we had a great time.
Okay, so hold
Yeah.
on, hold on, real quick. So the little girl was pink and the little boy was blue.
Yeah.
Was it like a blue shimmer, or was that like their color?
No, that was like an outline.
Oh.
It
So
was
she
an
had like a
outline.
pink outline and he had like a blue outline.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
It's pretty neat.
And they interacted with you? I mean, just like talking as well, or?
No, we were just playing on the bed, not really talking, but just playing with toys or whatever was in the room.
And they were able to play with the toys as well.
Yeah.
That is crazy. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but that's crazy. I mean, I'm picturing this in my mind. So this is like normal. So as a kid, that was like normal for you?
That was normal for me.
What a fascinating childhood. I mean, my supernatural encounters as a child was enough to, it's almost like scarred me for life.
Yeah. But, and then I found out later, years later, from my mom that she was in the kitchen having a conversation with these kids' mom over whose house it was.
No.
No, serious. And my mom had to tell their mom that it's now our house and that we live here.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
So that would explain why I no longer played with the boy and girl after that.
That would, yeah. Okay, so it was fascinating to me about that right there is that your mom was having a conversation with the ghost mom while
Yes.
you're playing with the ghost kids.
Yes.
I wonder if the veil was thin right there between, and maybe it's like an interdimensional kind of thing,
Yeah.
and it was just kind of be overlapping.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? And because your
Yeah.
mom was able to communicate and the kids were able to interact, I wonder if sometimes maybe y'all stepped over to their realm too.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
That's good. But you never talked to the kids. You don't remember talking to the kids at all?
No, we were just playing with, dolls, toys. I
But
don't
I'll-
really remember any conversations.
What all did your mom say about that?
She wasn't really surprised or concerned or, oh my God, or anything like that. She was like, oh yeah, I talked to their mom in the kitchen, like it was just no big deal, like, oh, somebody came over to visit,
Yeah, just coming in to have a cup of coffee and saying, hey, what's up? Can I borrow a cup of sugar? That's crazy. Can you
I
imagine that
know.
borrowing a cup of sugar from another dimension? See, that's some good interdimensional sugar right there.
Not that ghost sugar.
So it's been a great day over here. I'm not gonna lie, Geneva, but no, I'm just picturing that right now. So then after your mom had a conversation, but hold on, let me back up. Let me circle back. So mom has a conversation with their mom, and they leave.
Yeah. Yes.
And your mom was nonchalant about this?
Yes.
I wonder how sensitive your mom was.
I
Or
don't know.
is. Is your mom still alive?
No, she has since passed away.
I'm sorry to hear that. So-
Yeah. No, that's okay.
But I'm kind of curious to how sensitive your mom was.
Well, fast forward, like when I'm 13, my grandmother passed away. And I was sad because I couldn't go to the funeral. And then my mom and I were having this conversation one day, and she's like, yeah, Grandma asked how you guys were doing.
Yep, mom was sensitive.
Yeah.
I'm going, mom was sensitive.
Yeah.
So that was like
you know,
nonchalant for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
How cool and crazy.
Although if I mention it to somebody at work, I'm sure they'd freak out.
Well, trust me, I'm known as the Bigfoot guy at work.
Yeah.
They know me all too well. I'm the Bigfoot guy. I'm the podcast guy. Oh, yeah. When I go out in the woods, of course, I have to hear it from the big boss every once in a while. He'll be like, you find Bigfoot yet? I'm like, no. He goes, told you it doesn't exist.
Dang it.
So,
He's out there.
That's right. He's out there. But no, so Grandma passed away, so Mom would be like, so Grandma would probably be coming and checking on you guys.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, and then my thought was like, hey, cool. She's checking on us. All right. And off I went to ride my 10-speed or something.
That's hilarious. You said 10-speed. I remember those.
I know I'm old. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't think you were that old at all when I met you. I'm not going to lie. You mentioned 10 speeds, and I about went, what? How do you know what a 10-speed is? I know what a 10-speed is.
Yeah.
Those people in the audience shaking their head right now going, yeah, I know what a 10-speed is.
Right.
So that was at 13.
Yes.
All right. Well, carry on.
Oh, so I was in my early 20s when I was a public action organizer for the United Farm Workers Union. And their headquarters is in Tehachapi, California, which is out in the middle of the desert. And what they did was they took tuberculosis sanitarium, complete with hospital, and made it into their own little headquarters there. So whenever somebody came, to visit, they would sleep at the hospital. Anyway, so one night I went over to the hospital with some others, and we're just messing around, looking around, and next thing I know, I'm all by myself. And I'm like, where did we go? Anyway, so I heard all these kids, if you can picture like recess, right? And at recess, all the kids are out, they're playing, they're doing their thing, and you just hear the sound of children playing, right? And then I hear this woman laughing. Not like an evil laugh, like a joyful laugh, like she saw something funny. So, somebody comes in looking for me, and they're like, hey, Geneva, what are you doing still in here? And I was like, did you hear that? And they all looked at me, and they're like, hear what? And so I explained to them what I heard. And you could have heard a pin drop, because they all looked at me like I was nuts. They're like, we need to get out of here, because it's probably haunted.
So they didn't hear, so they never heard it then.
They didn't hear a thing.
But you did.
I did.
I'm wondering if maybe you're picking up on some of the residual energy from there.
There were, from what I understand, there was like a lot of adults there. They basically came to sit out in the sunlight because that was the cure back then. And so there's a lot of energy in the hospital. Because when we first got there, me and my mom got there. We woke up in the morning and my mom was just not in a good space. And she's like, all night long, I could hear somebody telling me that I have to go. You have to go. You have to leave here. It's not safe. And that was coming from inside the hospital. That was the energy that she picked up on. I didn't pick up on that. What I picked up on was the kids outside playing with the adults, watching them.
So you guys get there, you stay the night. Mom's in the morning telling you that there was something there telling her to leave, to get out.
Yeah.
And that it wasn't a safe space, time to go, time to go, time to go.
Yeah.
Pretty much. You're hearing kids outside, like at recess.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you're picking up on the residual energies in your mom. She might have been maybe a little bit more attuned or something a little bit more to it as well, but something was in there who probably maybe was trapped. And because it did pass away there was no cure there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what they may have been trying to relate to your mom, and they were afraid that maybe that's what you guys were there for.
Yeah, I was asking her about it because it just kind of sounded weird because I didn't pick up on that at all. Like, why would they tell her one thing and then I'm hearing something else?
Maybe you had it tuned out, or maybe you weren't quite attuned to that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like your
maybe.
radio frequency. Maybe your channel was off.
Right.
'Cause that's kind of how I look at you guys when it comes to sensitives and mediums and stuff like that. To where it's almost like you dial in on a radio, the old school radios with the knob on. You had to turn the dial to pick
Right.
it the right. You
Yeah.
get a little static and everything. So what if
Right.
your station? What if you were just off a little bit and your mom was just maybe tuned in just a little bit more,
Right.
and that's what she was picking up on?
Maybe. It's altogether possible. Wouldn't surprise me in the least.
No, wouldn't surprise me either. Honestly, that is. So did y'all leave or did you stay or what happened?
No, we slept through the night, got up the next morning, and went on our way.
That's crazy. And that was in your 20s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you been back through there again or no?
I have actually. Now I've been wanting to actually explore the hospital like during the day so I can see where I'm going. Because there's no electricity in there anymore. I mean, it's just all shut down. But even when I go in there during the day, you just get this sense of energy that is like something's not right. You know what I mean? Like that not bad, not evil, not mad. Just like, oh, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here.
What
It's
if
basically the energy that I was picking up on.
because with a lot of these sanatoriums and everything that took place, for TB, to be able to help, allegedly help people out back in the day,
Right.
obviously. What if there's so much of that energy still stuck there, and the people who were there who are passing away, obviously, because there was no cure at the time.
Right.
What if you're picking up on their energies that have been, because one of my theories when it comes to hauntings is that, amount of energy you put in, through an emotion,
Yeah.
extreme emotions, whether it be anger, hatred, love, happiness, and joy, could, leave an impression because it is energy.
Yeah.
If
yeah.
you think about it, it's where maybe because that place of everything that happened there, that is where you're picking up on that. It's where just unease.
Yeah.
Did you see anything or experience anything on your second trip?
No. I mean, other than that energy that I felt when I was trying to walk through the hospital, like I couldn't even walk through the hospital like I wanted to. Because I was, as soon as I went into the hallway, the further I got down the hallway, the stronger that energy was. That sense of unease, that sense of, you shouldn't be here.
So you
Type of
listened to your
feeling.
spidey senses and got out.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I like to think of myself as a pretty brave, individual and be the first one to go charging after whatever's around there. But if I'm being pushed back energy wise, I'm more likely, what I mean? Kind of hard to
Yeah.
fight that,
Right.
That's how
So
I view
was like,
that.
yeah, so I was like, okay, you win. I'm leaving. See you later.
That's what I would. Yep. Well, y'all have a good time. I'll see you later. Enjoy the sugar,
Right? Yep.
Kind of makes
But,
you wonder, like the salt thing. If you leave salt around, maybe they got enough salt over there, and that's why they won't. I don't know.
Who knows?
I could create jokes about the superstitions and the paranormal all day long. But so that was your okay. So you and Mom go there. So what's your next one? Because tell us what happened when we went back. But I know you've got more.
Right. So when I was in my 30s, I met this guy. He was an alcoholic. He was a recovering addict, recovering alcoholic. But he already had damaged his liver to the point where he had cirrhosis. And they told him that he was basically living on borrowed time. So fast forward, we're living in this nursing home type building. So imagine board in exchange for labor. So in exchange for cooking and taking care of people, we got room and board basically for free. And
Okay.
so he passed away, and I found him. and, they came and took him away. But that's not the weird thing. The weird thing is, every morning, when he was alive, he would come and knock on my room door with a cup of coffee in his hand. Hey babe, let's go listen to whatever was on the radio. Right? So I'm in my room just after he passed away. I'm just straightening things up, and I hear this knock, knock, knock on my door. Okay, so I open the door, and there's nobody there. Nobody. Now this is a huge space that has hallways, that echoes, stairways. You can't go up and down the stairways without there's some kind of an echo or sound. And so I'm like looking over to the floor below me. There's nobody there. I'm looking all the way down. As far as I can see where the stairs are, there's nobody. Nobody. And not only that, but nobody lived on that same floor with me. I was the only one occupying a room.
So there'd be no reason for anybody living to be knocking on the door.
Right. And nobody, even when he was alive, nobody else would come knock on my door. It was always him first thing in the morning. And that's when this happened, was first thing in the morning.
How often did that happen?
Just that once.
Just one time. That's probably him saying goodbye.
Yeah.
That was sweet of him, though, to show up with coffee every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely give props for that one. And wow, so just that one time. So, I'm sorry you had. I know that had to be traumatic for you, to find him like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry you had to go through that experience.
That's okay.
And then have him come by and knock one more time.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Hey, babe, cup of coffee. Let's go listen to some music. I like that.
Right.
I like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And there's more. I know there is.
There. So, my mother-in-law has already passed, but when she was alive and she was in hospice, we had her in the living room with her electric bed and her oxygen concentrator and the whole nine. And this young woman would come in and come take care of her and kind of give me a break. And we got into this conversation, kind of like we're talking now, about ghosts and spirits. And I was like, occasionally I'll have somebody come and say hi. I don't know. I was like, it's kind of weird. But
okay, let me pause you real quick, because you said occasionally you had just have somebody just pop in and say hi.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some of that before we go to the mother-in-law. Hold on, I'm kind of curious now. So, like watching TV and just, spirit pops in and goes, hey, what's up? Can I borrow a cup of sugar?
Yeah. So I used to work at the Veterans Hospital here in Little Rock.
Okay.
And I worked as a nursing assistant. So I worked MICU, SICU, didn't matter. And so, people sometimes die when they're in intensive care. Sometimes they don't make it out.
It's true. Unfortunately.
It's true. And so, somebody was passed away. I think it was this older man that had passed away. And there were two young men sitting at his bedside. And somebody pops in my head and goes, tell them I love them.
No. Really?
Yeah. And so I was like, well, how do I do this? I can't just walk up to two grieving human beings and go, hey, by the way, he just said to tell you that he loves you. Because that would be weird. I would feel like that's weird if somebody walked up to me and said that. So I kind of reworded it, and I was like, hey, he was talking about how much he loved you guys before he passed away. Just thought you should know.
That's crazy to me. That's awesome, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But, so, did you tell him anything, or did you just leave it alone?
I just left it alone after that. Because I didn't want to make it weird or anything. Because they just lost their loved one. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You definitely don't want to do that.
Mm-mm. But yeah, that was a common occurrence. If somebody passed away and there was family and I'm, cleaning up the body, or I'm doing post-mortem care, or, I'm just getting them ready to be seen, and they'll be, pop in my head and they'll be like, hey, tell so-and-so I said I love them.
That is crazy. That's awesome, though. I mean, I guess you're kind of used to it. I mean, I'm like, for me, who, doesn't have those abilities at all, and that to me would probably be more unnerving than trying to figure out how to relay the message to somebody.
Yeah. It's not unnerving to me because it's always kind of been there. My concern is more of how do I convey this without freaking somebody out?
True.
So.
Well, how often did this happen to you growing up after the pink and blue kids, or?
Yeah.
And they would just kind of pop in and say, hi, what's up, cup of sugar, and move on, or just...
Yeah, pretty much. How's your day? What you doing?
That is crazy. That's awesome. I mean, so when I say that's crazy, I'm not saying you're crazy. I'm just,
Yeah.
our generation was, oh, that's crazy. We always said that was cool. I know crazy just sounds better than
crazy
cool.
Now.
Yeah. It's like, oh, man, that's cool.
Makes you sound weird.
No, that's... I mean, you're just kind of used to this, though.
I am. I'm used to it.
Okay, so what was the craziest one that popped in and said hi, or, asked for a cup of sugar or something?
So the craziest one was actually when I was sleeping. And they popped into my head, and it was kind of like they were playing pinball with me, and they were like the little pinball. And they would try to come down, and I would try to keep them back up, with the little flippers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing. Like, hello.
Yeah, we got this. Yeah, I'm trying to I'm picturing this. I'm picturing a pinball
machine.
Yeah, I'm picturing a pinball machine, and I actually have the Who pinball wizard in my head, but not showing my age or anything.
That's okay.
Well, it's funny you laugh, so you know the song I'm talking about.
Yes.
So you were sleeping, and you and this entity were
playing pinball together, basically.
Like in a dream?
Yeah, in a dream.
I wonder, sometimes when people have these, really weird, whacked out, kind of crazy dreams, not like Barney's chasing you with a steak knife, but, the actual, it's, the dreams I'm talking about. But I wonder if maybe other people, this, when we're sleeping, because I know there's still so many studies out there, what takes place when we're sleeping, and studies about dreams. I don't even pretend to be a dream expert, because there's so many of them out there. If you die in your dream, you die in real life.
Right.
That stuff right there, which is BS. I have died in a couple of dreams. And, well, I'm talking to you now, and I'm in the flesh and blood. I promise. You met me in person. You met my little boy. So
right, yeah.
But, no, so I'm wondering if some of those really intense dreams that don't involve Barney chasing you with a steak knife, I'm wondering if maybe that is maybe them coming through. Or maybe the veil's being just thin just enough. Or maybe it's some kind of, the interdimensional I could go down so many rabbit holes with this stuff. I really can. It's crazy, too, when you do. It's like I was talking to somebody the other day about Bigfoot, and I was telling them, I was like, listen, there are so many rabbit holes when you go down, when you start researching into Sasquatch and Bigfoot, to where there's one, I guarantee you'll end at the bottom of it, and it's going to be, Bigfoot's running around in UFOs with Elvis and Tupac.
Sure.
You know, seriously, and they're all working 7-Eleven together. I mean,
Right.
that's that's where a lot of that is at. But for
Well, I mean,
for the paranormal,
and-
for what you deal with, I'm still trying to, yeah.
Yeah. And the fiance that I told you had knocked on my door. Well, years later, I sat down with a tarot card reader, not thinking anything of it, just your normal everyday tarot card reading, and then out of the blue, completely separate from the reading, it goes, "There's an older gentleman here, and he wants me to tell you that he's really sorry he had to leave you."
Oh.
Whoa. And you didn't tell the tarot reader any of this.
Mm-mm. Not a
Well,
word.
so the only thing I'm going to go with that one is, though, that is so easy to play, though. I mean, I can look at Jacob and go, Jacob, there's an older gentleman here, and he's sorry that he had to leave you. And he automatically, in his mind, has somebody in his head.
Yeah, my grandpa.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I like to know the TV psychics go, I'm assuming there's a man. It's a man. Somebody has a man who recently passed away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost kind of a fishing thing,
Kind of.
on that one. To where, to be honest with you, I think that with your abilities, you would probably feel that a little bit more than what the tarot reader was going to be able to feel. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, because the tarot cards would be like, okay, flip this card, and it's all random, is what
Yeah.
it is, and I'm going to get attacked by Heidi for that one. I can tell you that right now, because Heidi's all about the tarots,
She is.
and she's read tarot cards for me numerous times. They've been pretty close to a certain things, but I always believe that the future is always in motion. I quote Yoda. One of my
Right.
favorite fortune tellers is Yoda, smart puppet, but it's. Okay, I got Jacob laughing now. But anywho, so it's the future is always in motion. It's the future at that moment is what it is, and what's happening in your life at that particular moment, not what could be taking place in 10 days from that moment, because in motion is always life.
Right.
So and it's I think trying to predict the future or doing that stuff is almost nearly impossible. To be honest with you, I really, really do. And because I don't, actually, that's another rabbit hole we could go down, and we'd be here for 3 hours, and the audience would have tuned out like an hour ago and been like, okay, anyways. But so the tarot reader, so they say that to you.
Yeah. Just out of the blue.
So was it okay? So when they say that out of the blue, so the one question I have for you is this: I'm assuming you've had other important men in your life pass away at this point in time besides him,
Yes.
but you knew for some reason that it was him.
Well, no. So my grandfather passed away from Alzheimer's, and so I thought it was him for the longest time. And then but this stuff stays with me for like years, and it'll always come back to me. And I'm like, oh no, that doesn't make sense, because I didn't really spend time with my grandfather when he was sick, because he was in Southern California and I was not. But I spent a lot of time with my fiance before he died. So that is what made me think, oh, it's from him instead.
Okay, because I would generally go with your gut
Yeah.
on that one, because what
Yeah.
your gut's going to give you the answer that when it comes down to it,
Right.
And because I'll be honest with you, if Jacob was to tell me the same thing, there's an older gentleman here saying that he's sorry that he had to leave you. I'll be honest with you, I have a whole bunch of people that would pop in, of course, older
Sure.
as now as
Sure.
well, friends being some of
Yeah.
them. But I mean, yeah, that's crazy though. So do you think? So do you feel him around you from time to time still, or no?
I do.
Do
Yeah.
you? Okay.
Yeah, I do from time to time.
That's just cool. Crazy cool. All right. So, mother-in-law and her, it was her
Caregiver.
Thank you. I
Right.
almost said health caregiver, but her caregiver. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Same thing
I-
almost.
I
And
got-
we were
I got
talking
tongue-tied.
about her dad that passed away. And I was like, and I looked over at her and I was like, I'm just going to take a leap. And I'm like, did you have he gave you a white teddy bear when you were a child? and she took in this huge, huge breath of air. Like, oh my God, how did you know that? But before I said anything, I could see the bear in my mind. Like, tell her about the bear. And I was like, bears are supposed to be brown. And he was like, very insistent. He's like, no, it's white. I'm like, no, it should be brown. He's like, no, it's white. Okay. He says he gave you a white bear. And she was like, oh my God. He gave me a white little teddy bear growing up. After that, I just kind of like walked away because I was like, that is all I'm going to do. That's all.
Okay, that's a little bit. Okay, that's a little bit more than just like is there there's an older gentleman standing there. That's like detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like how you said that you guys were arguing, debating in your head over that, the color of the bear.
Yeah. Because in my brain, bears are brown. They're brown.
The classic teddy bear.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That is interesting.
That's kind of neat, though. He was putting the image into your head, and you relate it to her.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming then that was a really good description right there. So I'm assuming that that's what it's like then when you talk to these.
Yes.
So I don't know what they call them: ghosts, spirits, energies, elements.
I don't know.
People, things.
Hard to say.
Messengers?
I
wouldn't know.
It's a noun. I just don't know what to call them.
Like a spirit?
What do you call them?
I call them spirits.
Okay. Well, we'll stick
Spirits.
with that one then.
Okay.
Okay.
So when the spirits start talking to you, so it's like an image being put into your head.
Yeah.
So almost like your subconscious is in there and somebody else's.
Right. But not all the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Just me. Most of the time.
Yeah. Obviously,
Yeah.
obviously it's just you. Yeah, I know that. But when they're communicating, it's like it's like you have two thoughts. One you're controlling, and one's.
Yes.
Is it? I mean, have you had any that you've had to get rid of?
No, thankfully.
Okay, that's good because I was kind of getting worried about that part.
Yeah, no, that's something this is why I don't go to haunted houses, because it's like, dude, I don't need to go somewhere to hunt a ghost.
No, they apparently seem to come and hunt you.
Yeah.
You need to get you and Todd together, the musical seer, up in because he has some of that mediumship as well,
Okay.
and he's been really really gun shy to talk to people about it. He's been on the show twice, and Todd, if you're listening, man, I appreciate you coming on, and to share this stuff. And as he's brought it up, when he does bring it to people, to where they do kind of shy away, or they do kind of make fun of him per se.
Sure.
So, I mean, is this something that you've experienced as well, or?
Yeah, I really shy away from talking to other people about it, because, you never know what they're going to do. For example, I went to work today with my little Paranormal Expo shirt on. And I didn't say anything per se, but the deputy looked over at me and she goes, "So, what did you see that was paranormal there?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not answering that."
That's when you say, "I saw the drunken cryptids." What did you see this weekend? Sorry, I had to throw that out there. That's just
That was good, though.
and I'll be honest with you. I mean, when it comes to that, I mean, I guess I've growing up, living in haunted houses, having shadow people experiences, having a crazy encounter at Fort Hood, weird, to a point, I'm not even going to come close to saying sensitive, but I do know I can walk into an area and be like, "Oop, this area is effed," and that's my term for it. I call it effed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is an effed up area. Bad juju. But
Right.
yeah, I don't have nothing talking to me or anything like that. And I've been touched by some spirits a few times, and anybody who gets touched, and you've been touched, physically touched, I don't mean like spiritually,
Right.
but I actually mean a physical touch on your person.
Hmm.
It does, yeah, it'll wake you up in the morning.
Yeah, well,
Especially if you're not expecting it.
yeah. If he ever wants to talk to somebody, let me know, man.
Hey, I'm good now. I mean, I'm at the point now where I don't care, and Jacob will tell you that. I mean, because how the Drunken Cryptids was born, the Drunken Cryptids was born in a bar,
Pretty much.
and during 2020, and things are opening back up, and the place we were hanging out at, no people were still afraid to go out, and we were out. We would sit in the corner. There's a small group of us, and one night we just started talking cryptid and paranormal stuff. And, that's what we started doing, hanging out and talking about it and breaking it down, discussing it while we're drinking beer.
Right.
The bartender one night goes, y'all should just get a podcast. And I'll be honest with you, I had no idea what a podcast was. But I am that person that does want, obviously I do now. Hey, what's up, everybody? I have a podcast. But now it's, I've never been too, even when I was in the military. So the only time I was real hesitant to talk about, I had some paranormal experiences while I was in, and I wasn't going to work going, man, my house I live in is haunted. Because then I am going to be the laughing stock of the unit.
Yeah.
So, and the encounter that I had out there in the woods, with 2 other soldiers, obviously, they weren't talking about it. They would talk to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, we weren't talking to other folks. It's just one of those things. Well, prime example. So, when I was stationed in Germany, my buddy Smitty, he's passed away. He passed on in 2005. And we were pulling guard duty in a Bradley, an armored personnel carrier. And I was in the Bradley commander's seat, and he was in the gunner's seat, and he was scanning through thermals. And you have to pull guard duty when you're out in the field at night. And he says, he goes, hey, Sergeant, I got something. And I was like, what? Because I'm not supposed to be anything out there. And I looked through the commander's sight, and sure enough, there was this hot blob out in this wide open field. And I popped up out of the hatch, and I'm looking with the naked eye, trying to chase down where the barrel's aimed at, trying to pinpoint the area, see if I could see. Pulled up my night vision devices, which sucked at the time. If those of you who were in the military back in 2000 and 2000, the early 2000s and 90s, what I'm talking about. So I'm looking, trying to, if I can see this thing, and just as he was about to laze it to see how far away it was,
It disappeared.
it moved left, moved right, and then shot straight up.
Dude, what?
Yeah, to the point where we were both standing up out of the turret, looking skyward where this thing went.
Trying to figure out where it
Yeah,
went.
trying to figure out where it went. And he looked at me and he goes, do we report this, Sergeant? And I went, no. So I mean, yeah. And it's just, prime example. A buddy of mine, and they went on, training up for Bosnia, went on a patrol, ended up in this weird, they got called out for activity, bad guy activity. We're in training. They're called the OPFOR, opposing force. And they were working, so boom, him and his team, they go out there, they go and investigate, and we lose contact with them on the radio for about 30, 45 minutes. And to them, they weren't gone that long, but they had some paranormal stuff happen. Now, he told me when I arrived on scene, because I was his backup, and when I showed up is when they were like, man, you're not going to believe this. And they told me, and I was like, yeah, your batteries went down to the radio, right? That's as best as I could come up with.
Yeah.
So I get that completely. But now, no, I'm old now. They can make fun of me all they want. I know what I've seen.
Right.
Jacob's over there laughing at me.
Yep.
So it's funny. We'll go out now, and everybody goes, oh, you're the podcast guy. I'm like, I sure am.
He's proud of it.
So, but back to you. Sorry, I took over the show there for a minute because the show's not about
That's
me,
okay.
and I apologize.
I only have one more story, and that's it.
One more. Oh, we got a lot to talk about then. I have so many questions.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay.
So.
Not that many. Don't panic.
I told you about my dog passing away at the expo.
Yes. You told me about that, but I want you to tell everybody else about that because this is fascinating to me.
So Bane was a Great Dane Mastiff mix, and he passed away And then shortly after, because we put him down because he bloated or whatever. But we put him down shortly after. I was half asleep in my bed, and I look over, and there is a full-fledged outline of Bane. Like 3D, the whole nine. He's sitting right there. And so I reach out my hand because I wanted to pet him because I'm half asleep and I'm not thinking. And my hand just fell right through him.
I'm picturing all that right now. Half asleep and the dog jumps up on the bed and you look over and it's your dog and you go to pet it. I mean,
Yeah.
see, to answer the question, can pets become ghosts?
I think, why not? Why not?
That had to be heartbreaking for you, though.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, my heart breaks for you on that one. That just breaks my heart. You went to, your dog passes away, and
He shows up at my bedside and I try to pet him and I can't. Yeah, that was hard. That broke my heart.
man, I'm so sorry about that. I really am.
Yeah.
That's, man.
But he's the first dog that I've ever had to show up.
You just answered
No.
my next question.
Yeah.
Is that the only dog?
No. I rescue older dogs, mostly Great Danes, but I have a Pitty now also. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pass away. And none of the others did that, just Bane.
Special connection between you and Bing.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the loss of a pet is hard, especially when there's a connection. I know that much.
Yeah.
So,
Really
was there?
special.
Did you see any other animal spirits? Or
No. No, he's the first and the only one so far.
The only one.
that's wow. That's. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. My heart's still breaking right there for that. Right, that's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I am so
No,
sorry,
it-
Geneva. I really am.
That's all right.
Wow.
He's not hurting anymore.
It was probably stopping by to give him one goodbye.
Yeah, but I bet you Jacob's right on that one. I bet you Bing was just popping and going, "Mom, I'm good."
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not hurting no more.
Yep.
Pretty much.
I crossed the
I
Rainbow
think-
Bridge. I'll see you on the other side.
I think that was it. Because when he died, he was in a lot of pain. His stomach had basically done a 180.
Oh,
Yeah,
So he was in a lot of pain.
poor
And
Bing.
just as they were putting him down, I held him and I was like, I got you. It's okay. So maybe that was his way of saying, hey man, I'm good. I love you. I'm here. I'm good.
Yeah, I bet you're right. I bet you are right on that one. Exactly what was happening.
Yeah.
Man. Well, let's get off the sad one. Before everybody hears crying.
Yeah.
Because everybody right now is thinking of a poor pet that they lost. Thinking
Oh
of-
my
You're not
goodness.
the only one.
Yep. So I've got, I had a dog, Lady. She was great. I'm not going to lie. That dog was great. I love Lady. And she had been abused, and she was already old when I adopted her. My ex really, really wanted, so I was in the service, really wanted a dog. We got this dog. And she ended up being my dog. Oh, no, we split up, got divorced. We actually went to Germany. My parents kept the dog here. It was gone for a couple of years. Yeah, my parents got attached to her. My parents were like, hey, look, I was like, I get it, Hey, you have the dog now. I don't have a dog. That's cool. When I came home, it took a matter of 20 to 30 seconds for that dog to realize it was me, and she was right there at my legs.
Oh, wow.
And my mom was like, well, she's still your dog. And she was. She was
Yeah.
my loyal companion all the way up. Came home from work, and she had died in her sleep in her bed.
Oh, no.
And it was on a Friday. And, oh, yeah, so I had to go get her cremated. And I refrained. This was in 2007. Yeah, 2007 is when she passed away. And I did not get another dog until Jack. And I got him in 2022. Yep, 2 years ago. Where's the little bastard at? Like he's sleeping behind me. And the only reason his name's Jack is because, well, when I looked at him, because I only went to the animal shelter because they posted they needed dog food.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a nice guy. I was like, yeah, I'll go buy some dog food and drop it off.
And then leaves with the dog.
And I left with the dog.
Okay.
So they got a free bag of dog food, and all I thought was, I could have kept this for myself. I need this now. And I had to go buy more after I got the dog. But he was sitting in my truck just right before I got my Jeep. He was sitting in my truck, and I looked at him. He was looking at me all happy, and I was like, oh, I'm a jackass. And I went, oh, that's his name, Jackass. Jack for short.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So, yep, everybody calls him Jack. He's a good pup. He really is.
Oh, yeah.
He's excitable, and he's a very social animal, and he loves his people, and he loves my kids. He is all about my kids. He gets so excited. I mean, when I come home and I have my kids with me, he goes past me to them.
Oh, he knows you were talking about him. He's up now.
Oh, is he? And he was sleeping. He was laying behind me. Yep. I was like, all right, I'm right here, Dad. Okay, so I want to focus a little bit more on some of these spirits that are coming through and talking to you. I mean, does this happen like on a weekly basis, a daily basis, monthly, yearly, quarterly? I mean, how often does this happen?
Oh,
That
no,
and do they
not
still
like that.
happen?
Mm-mm. No, it basically hasn't happened in a long minute. Because I don't work intensive care now. I work correction.
Okay.
So this is
But,
happening when you're in intensive care.
Yeah.
Oh, so even at home, then the people. Oh, I'm putting two and two together now. Okay, so while you're working intensive care with your abilities, I can tell you right now, they probably sensed on that, and they were pretty much picking up with you, and they were passing a message. I just saw a big spider go right underneath that leaf right there. Sorry, I'm not a fan of spiders. Jacob, that leaf right there. Yeah, you're pointing at it. Yeah, big spider. Big spider. Yeah, I'll let you
get up and look.
Yeah, you kill it. I'm on the microphone. Anyways, but no, so they were attached to you, so they were just probably coming through and saying hi or just trying to pass it. Okay. And then once you move out of that environment, now you're in a different one.
Yeah, I don't get that anymore.
Yeah, so you just heard Jack bark, I'm sure.
That's all right.
Okay. He gets excited. He has to let everybody know in the neighborhood that he's here, and he's loud and proud. And he's this really short Labrador Basset Hound mix. So he's not.
Well, you're lucky that Sugar hasn't gotten her squeaky toy and gone to town.
Oh no! Sugar, is that your dog's name?
Yeah.
See, I think that's awesome. So I mean, being passes on, and you still continue to get animals. I could not do that. I could not do that. I felt so horrible. I mean, I kept the picture of my dog up, and I still have it, the picture of my dog, Lady, and I would have it all the time.
Yeah.
To where even my little girl, my daughter, Samantha, when she was little, she would go, that's Lady. She would know.
Yeah.
So, but, all right. So it hasn't happened since you moved into corrections. Only when you're in intensive care that it happened. So, but you did say it happened to you when you were a kid growing up as well, right?
Yeah, like when I was playing with those kids, I mean, we didn't really have, like I said, a full-blown conversation. It was more like, hey, excuse me, look at this toy. And, they'd play with their toy, and I'd get my toy, and we'd be playing back and forth with toys, so.
That's crazy.
What's crazy is I didn't think anything of it. Like, I didn't think, hey, this is weird. I was just happy to have a friend to play with.
Well, the thing about it is, though, is to be honest with you, it's not weird per se. I mean, normal. I'm using my fingers in parentheses for normal. Normal society doesn't tell you that it's weird, though, but it's not. I mean, this stuff has been featured throughout history as far back as, including into the Bible and such. So the thing is I'm wondering, what's curious, with all your experiences that you've had with these spirits and everything, what do you think they are? That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah, like I refer to them as spirits. And I think that they're like energy of the person or the dog or whatever that passed away. Like not a full blown like cloning whoever, but just their essence or energy that they're putting forth, even though their body is gone.
Yeah, kids, remember, there's no wrong answer here. I just want to know, because with your life experiences, and what you dealt with, I'm curious what what you think they are. But real quick, have you seen any other ones that were similar to the boy and the girl that had the shimmer of pink? And I forgot to ask you earlier, did you see the mom at all, or just the kids?
No, just the kids.
Have you seen any other entities, spirits that had that outline around them, or anything similar?
Only when I forgot to tell this.
We got another story. Go ahead.
So, when I had my miscarriage,
I am so sorry.
That's okay, life happens.
That's my motto.
Right.
No, seriously,
So-
that's my motto. Life happens. I hate the term shit happens. Life happens.
Yeah.
Life happens. Anyway, so I was left wondering, is this a boy or a girl? How do I refer to it? Is it a he or she? Should I name him or her? How do I know? Anyway, so my then husband and I went to bed and opened my eyes because his face was facing my face on one of those deals, and this blue cylinder, not a cylinder, but a circle
Okay.
was just floating in between our faces. Has never happened before, has never happened again since. But it was kind of like, I'm a boy.
Oh.
So you
So,
wanted to know, the
yeah.
ginger, and
Yeah.
a blue orb or circle was floating between you guys.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
It's kind of sweet.
It is.
It is.
It's kind of sweet. I like that. Let's go back to real quick, though, because we're getting ready to wrap the show up. So I do want to know, though, what do you think the spirits are? You said you believe that they are, they could, they're people that passed on, animals that passed on. And I'm kind of curious whether, I mean, do you think that, I don't know.
I think they're energy, right? Because nothing can really happen without some sort of energy taking place or, moving or whatever. So I think that they are an essence or an energy of that person.
All right.
And, where it's, I don't know if it just comes up out of the blue or whatever, but it's there when I think they want to communicate or when they want to make their presence known. I truly do believe that because it would take energy to knock on the door. It would take energy to play with a toy on a bed. It would take energy to go, hey, I'm going to show up next to mom's bed. Or it would take energy to go, hey, I'd like you to tell them that I love them. So in my mind, it just seems like their spirits are like a form of energy.
All right.
That's just my theory.
All right. It's a good theory. I like that. Good theory. Because my theories when it comes to the spirits are all over the place. I have nothing I can nail down except for it's I can argue for like any case. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
And I can, argue against any case as well. And Jacob's over there laughing.
Yeah, he can go in like 50 different ways on what the spirit
Yeah,
is.
because to be honest with you, this is what we do at the tavern. When we're not doing interviews, we discuss all this stuff. And, I research, because to be a good field researcher, you must first be a good armchair researcher.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I am a great armchair researcher and with some field research under my belt as well. But yeah, this is where it's my favorite topics because nobody has a definite answer. So everybody could be right and everybody could be wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
All at the same
I
time.
agree with you. Absolutely.
All of it is a good educated guess.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, how the stuff that she's talking about, it almost sounds like it's the last remaining energy of the person that wants to say, hey, can you give this somebody a farewell goodbye for me?
Yeah, and I'm all on that train. I'm
Yeah.
definitely, I'll be right there, the conductor on that one, because I agree 100%. And the dog, Bing, man, Bing, just breaks my heart. I have a soft spot for kids and for
Dogs,
dogs.
yeah.
Like, I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, like, when you told me about the kids briefly there on Saturday at the expo, and I had a hard time trying to hear everything at the same time, so I'm glad you kind of clarified, because I'll tell everybody, my theory on kid ghosts is they're not kids. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering whether what you and your mom experienced, because it had the outline going on, around them. And I'm wondering if the mom had an outline. Because for some reason, in my mind, I'm picturing the mom with a gold one.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I'm picturing like the kid's mom with a gold outline. I don't know why I'm picturing that, but I'm picturing like I can see
Yeah.
from her description, the little boy, the little girl with the the blue and the pink. But for some reason, when she was talking about the mom, I was picturing the mom in the kitchen, with her mom
Yeah.
with a gold outline.
That's interesting.
I don't
I
know
can
why I
picture
think
that.
that, but that's what I'm picturing.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't know the neither way. But I'm wondering if maybe that was one of those almost interdimensional time slip things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what it's where that's why they were having the conversation, because it's kind of rare to have, like mom and the kids right there, unless something really tragic happened at the same time. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Either that or mom had just been kind of like hanging out in the house and she didn't realize how much time had gone past.
yeah, true. But I'm also going with the fact that maybe that it's just with the kids there. That's what that because the kicker to me on that encounter is the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So the mom is one thing, but I think with the kids being there, I think this is almost interdimensional.
Yeah.
Almost interdimensional, and maybe that experience right there triggered like your third eye or whatever people want to call it, to where it just kind of made you more sensitive to these.
Especially when she's playing with the kids and mom's in the kitchen talking to mom.
Yeah, I'm thinking
mean-
a little interdimensional. Then once your mom had a conversation with her and pretty much laid, said, "Hey, this is the last cup of sugar, no more." I'm going to stick with that so bad. I swear I'll probably be stuck on a cup of sugar for the next week. I will probably put a cup of sugar in many episodes as I can from here on out.
Oh, I can see that already.
And I do that. I'll get on something like, I was there on a kick for fairies for a long time. I still am. The fairies the fairies are messing with me, and I mess with them back. I just want everybody to know that. But
All
ain't-
right.
yes, and little fairies. Yeah. Anyways, but I think that was on that one right there. But I think everything else, I think you're spot on. But that right there, I think that might be just a little interdimensional because of the outline of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Blue and
Yeah.
pink, and for some reason, I'm sure, this. I bet your mom would tell you that the mom had an outline. You know what I mean?
Right.
And your mom laid down the law and pretty much said no. And whatever was there closed.
Yeah.
Or maybe through your mom's sensitivity may have opened it up. And I think maybe with some of y'all who are sensitive, y'all can inadvertently open these things up or create these little thinnings of the dimensions. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's absolutely possible.
I so badly want to use the word portal, but that gets thrown around so much right now in the paranormal and cryptid world. It's ridiculous. So I don't want to say portal, but I do want to say possible. What may have happened is maybe the combination and the energy between you and your mom together is what helped create that right there. And because especially the way your mom was just so nonchalant about it, and your mom probably closed it, and I think your mom more than likely knew more than she ever told you or let on.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because you had a good mom, and she was there to take care of her little girl. That's exactly, that's what parents are supposed to do.
Right.
That's crazy. Wow. Geneva, I'm so glad you came on the show, though.
Me too.
Because I could probably break these down for the next, 2 hours with you. I really could. So I'm glad you came on the show, and it was such a pleasure to meet you on Saturday. It really, really was.
It was my pleasure.
No. As I said, the pleasure was definitely all mine. All mine. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So very much. All right. Well, stay on. We'll talk a little bit here off the air. So, but Jacob, any final thoughts you got before we wrap this up?
Not really, except for the I believe, her dog and all the other people that were sending her the little messages and all that were the last remaining essence or energy that they had left on this planet to send the one final message.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, and I love the fact Bing. I'm stuck with Bing. That one just.
I'm okay, Mom.
Yeah, I like that. I'll meet you on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge. I love that one.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I love that one. Love it. All right. Well, everybody out there, thank you again for listening to another episode of The Drunken Cryptids. I appreciate it. Remember, if you've had an encounter and you want to talk about it, please email me, drunkencryptids@gmail.com. Follow us on all your social media platforms. Follow us on all your streaming platforms. Give us a 5-star review. Like and share us. Also, if you guys still want more content, we do have a Patreon page set up. We will have all of our expedition pictures, everything, and we'll be doing Discord on there as well for our Patreon members. There's 3 tiers on there, whichever tier works best for you. Every support appreciates it. And if you still want more, if you want to be able to crack some jokes with me, I will be every other Tuesday on Patrick and the People. It's another live show. Load. I'm trying to say aired locally, and it came out load. Aired locally. Patrick and the People. It's website, Facebook, and it's YouTube Live every morning. Patrick goes on from 6:30 to 9, and I am a co-host on there every other Tuesday. So when this episode airs on Halloween, the following Tuesday, I will be on the show. So jump on over and give us a listen. Would really appreciate it. Me and Patrick had a great conversation last week about Bigfoot. It was kind of comical.
Oh, yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, we kind of sparred a little bit there, and I love that fact. So, but other than that, thank you guys again for listening. And till next time, y'all stay safe out there.
I'm the king of the world.